Oh, we're having a lot of Scrabble fun today, but I don't know. I think I've got a rather disgruntled Scrabble player here. Gav.
Yes.
Okay. Who loves Scrabble more than you?
I think no one on earth.
I don't like Scrabble.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
just going to put
I'm
it out
playing against
there.
you there, man.
Doesn't involve
But
petrol.
I don't enjoy board games. There's not enough petrol
Oh, well, if you didn't
involved.
guess it, we've got Chiro and Gavin in the house. It's time for Overdrive TV, and the boys are looking quite pleased with themselves, like the cat who got the milk this morning.
All shall be revealed, Graham, but in exactly 1 week's time on Expresso.
It's got something to do with Ferrari, something, but that's for next week. This week we've got a lot of fun to get through by the looks of things.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Let's talk about the Renault Clio, shall we?
Yes, some new cars to talk about.
Yeah, so a couple of new cars all decided to arrive on their own, obviously, in South Africa this week. And this is the first.
Hot,
this is the first one we'd like to chat about. That is the brand new Renault Clio.
That is actually really hot, man. A little bit GTI-ish in its lines.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Remember, you remember we had the popular energy drink edition here in the studio a while back, and this has just come. That was the last hurrah for that.
Witty? Did you just say something witty? That was witty, man.
Yeah, and as you say, it does look fantastic, and we shouldn't be surprised anymore. The engine capacity's gone down. It's now 900cc engine is the entry level, and the guy who spoke to you, Chiro, said he got it from Durban to Cape Town. Got 3.8 litres to the 100, which is
I couldn't
is that
believe
good or
that.
bad?
That's pretty incredible.
That's pretty good. It's very good.
I mean, the car we're going to review later was doing about 14 litres to the 100, so this thing doing 3.8 litres to the 100 was pretty impressive.
And this is a very important car for Renault. It's a spiritual successor to the Renault 5, which actually saved Renault from bankruptcy way back in the day. So they've got a lot of expectations of them small Renaults in a new one, and this is going to be a very good car for them indeed.
But you know what's happening though is small cars are becoming really important. This is where the money is. But that's very, very good for me and you, the car buyer, because it means that small cars are becoming very good indeed. They really are. So we don't have prices on that yet, and obviously we can't wait for the Renault Sport RS Gordini something
XLT
or other.
Super Duper edition.
Yeah, bacon sandwich edition. It's going to be fantastic.
Now, Ford Kuga.
Yeah,
right.
Hey, that name says it all, man.
I think Ford Kuga owners should be a bit upset.
Yeah, I think Ford have been a bit cheeky about this because about 18 months ago on this very program, we reviewed the new Ford Kuga, and now there's a new Ford Kuga.
Yeah.
So if you bought an old new Ford Kuga, you should go to your dealer and shout and scream a lot and say you would like the new Ford Kuga.
I want the new Ford Kuga that was parked on the moon in Expresso.
And this one's a lot better. I mean, it looks fantastic. And it's also got Ford's EcoBoost technology, which makes it greener, more efficient, and also gives it more power, which is something that's becoming a bit of a trend as well.
Yeah, I've driven one of those EcoBoost engines. It's really clever tech from Ford. So that will probably use, probably a third of the fuel of the old one.
How exactly does it work, if you can give it to an idiot?
Well, basically, smaller engines, bigger turbos, or at turbo, because the last one didn't even have one. No, but actually, I got a chance to drive that 1 litre Fiesta, which I can't remember if we've spoken about on the show or not. But I mean, it's just basically they've redesigned the way turbos interact with the engine and done clever things like integrated the exhaust into the engine as well. There's a whole bunch of stuff, and I'll probably put South Africans back to sleep if I carry on.
We were talking about sleep therapy earlier.
But it does also have a practical benefit besides all of the new induction technology for the turbos, where you can sort of wave your foot underneath the back bumper and the boot opens for you.
There we go. We've got a photo of it. So if your hands are full, if you're carrying one massive pink box, there we go. There's
she's
more
got
shopping.
A whole lot of shopping.
She's been shopping,
Yes, exactly.
She's been shopping. She's got a coffee. What I like is the styling. That front end's got like a meaty, almost an American-style front side.
It is kind of American European Ford. It's kind of a bit of a crossover between the two
Atlantic.
Fords.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Who is this car for?
Now this car, I think suburban moms.
Yeah, busy moms, with a couple of kids and the dogs to get in the back and all the shopping to do as well. I think that's going to be a really practical sort of run-around car.
Absolutely. And here's one thing that I found astonishing. I looked on Ford's website. The old new Kuga starts at 392,000 Rand. The new Kuga starts at 289. So the new one is significantly cheaper.
Do you think that was like a practical joke or something?
I don't know who does the maths at these car companies, but anyway, they wonder why they're in trouble sometimes.
All right, RAV4 back in the house.
Yes. Now, exactly 418 years ago.
I think it was 423 years ago was the last RAV4.
No, sorry, things get a bit blurry around the Middle Ages, but that's when the last RAV4 came out, and it's been a while. We've been waiting for this one for a while, and here it is, and I think it looks quite good.
It does. It doesn't look like a girl's car anymore. which
not
is
agree with either of you. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that the initial RAV4s were just so kind of, quirky and cute, and this just looks like a. They've got a lot bigger. I mean, most cars do get bigger.
Yeah.
I'm not a massive fan of the styling, but at least it's interesting.
Yeah, I was about to say, Toyota have just gone through a terribly beige period in their lives, and in the history of the car.
So beige, it's almost khaki.
I mean, it's just, sort of featureless designs and quite sort of forgettable designs, and that at least is quite interesting. I mean, it's polarizing. You don't like it, I quite like it, and I think that's at least more interesting than we'll never even remember what that is.
Than everyone not caring about it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, now blow my minds, guys. Give me something exciting here. Come on.
So we drove something.
Yes.
And Gav got to drive this first when we picked it up at the dealership, and he phoned me about an hour later, and it sounded like he'd already arrived at his hotel in Mauritius and was on his second massage.
Yeah, I mean, there's good reason for that. I'll tell you what happened. I've been on the show a lot, and we've been driving a lot of BMWs, and I've been saying how good they are because they are fantastic. And I think Mercedes had a meeting in Stuttgart and said, we have to create a Mercedes-Benz, especially for Gavin Williams. So we're going to make it a big coupe. We're going to combine his three favorite things about a car. It's going to be a big coupe V8. It's going to be a station wagon, and it's going to be a Mercedes-Benz. And here it is.
It's going to be the biggest car you've ever seen in your life.
The Mercedes CLS500.
We need to bring Gavin back to the light side. That's what happened in Stuttgart.
Absolutely.
But it's actually true, because they phoned me and said, would you like to drive it? I said, yes. But anyway, so I was hugely impressed with this car. This immediately became my favorite Mercedes that isn't an AMG.
Yep.
I think it's probably the best Mercedes in a long time, and I was looking after my cousins that week. I was going to say little cousins, they're not that little anymore. So I was on the school run, and they absolutely loved it. They thought this was the
cool cousin with the awesome Merc, man. Who doesn't want that?
Now, this might sound a bit odd, but when I first drove this, it reminded me of that movie, The Never-Ending Story, where he rides on that magical dog.
Falco.
Very comfortable and very fluffy.
Exactly. And there was a sense of childlike wonder, and I remembered why I love Mercedes-Benz so much. Because what I love about this particular one, as Chiro says, not an AMG, there will be an AMG version, but this is such an old school Merc. It's just got this quiet luxury about it. It is. Oh, it's just
You're just dying to be an old man, dude.
I cannot wait.
He's completely smitten. So I should point out that the footage we are showing you, I could only get the AMG footage. They look very similar, sort of bigger wheels, maybe a couple of skirts around the side. But the one we had was the CLS500. Now, I thought one night, right, let me see if this thing can actually dance. So took it to the top secret Overdrive handling testing facility, which is the M6 between Hout Bay and Camps Bay, and put it into sport mode, and, was driving enthusiastically, and I was terrified. There was so much power, but it was so wallowy, and then I realized sport mode does not engage sport suspension. Hit that button, different car. Different car.
But honestly, for me, that's not really the point here. Honestly, and again, I just love the fact that this took me far, far away from that white-knuckled world of BMW. Everything is
I like that white-knuckled world. Leave me here. You can stay.
Yeah, no, I will completely
that was something else witty. A couple of witty ones. Okay, James, we're going to have to leave our never-ending story there, man. It's always such a blast.
All right.
Next week, we're going to see you in the hottest Ferrari we've ever seen, yeah?
Yeah, it's we're very excited.
We'll be here. Yeah.
Oh, man. It's going to be here in our studio. Chiro and Gav, you can catch them on Twitter at Overdrive TV. Continue the conversation there. Oh, these guys love to tweet, man. They love to chat, and they are good gents. Well, an awesome Friday morning continues. I'm actually almost spent, man. I've had Springboks, I've got my new jersey, Wendy Oldfield, my boys. It has been a great show. I think all that remains is a game of Scrabble, I think, hey?
With a range of quality products guaranteed nationally, you will always find there's so much more to Midas.